All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a ton of viral, top trending Reddit posts in regards to Trials, absolutely roasting the playlist. And as someone, you know myself, I've played thousands and thousands of hours of Trials. I'm very well known as a Trials content creator over the years. I wanted to give my opinion, and I actually want to go against something that I've been doing for a long time, which is carries. All right, and a lot of people, they don't like to say things against their own bias, right? But I'm going to go completely unbiased here, and I'm going to talk about how carries are hurting the playlist to a certain degree and how we could potentially stop carries, recovs, and obviously cheaters are going to be the three biggest issues that we're going to talk about here. But without diving in too far, let's go ahead and start with this top trending Reddit post. We have right here saying, Trials is not a fun activity, 2.9 thousand likes, so a ton of people liking this post and agreeing with this. The only people enjoying Trials are the top 1% or streamers, and the rest of us only attempt it for the rewards, only to be promptly stomped out with no rewards and wasted time being frustrated because it isn't a fun game mode. Sure, you earn the 3-win reward each week with completion of a bounty that most people jump off the map for, but you're then limited to that reward alone, and you've spent your time either jumping off the map or running full clip at the other team to get it over with. It is not a fun experience. You feel your time has, assuming not been well spent, is what he meant to say. We need a revamped trial system, either chance at a high stat armor, even on losses. Trials card, you can earn wins with no loss penalty to eventually maybe work your way to win that 5 and 7 win reward. The player base is continually dropping in Trials, so it's even less enjoyable for the majority of players. This needs to be addressed. I absolutely agree with everything being said there. Trials is a playlist. A lot of streamers and top 1% players do enjoy it more than obviously the casuals, but I will say this, that's largely because of skill creep, and skill creep is even pushing out the streamers and the top 1% players because cheaters are coming in, and cheaters are better than streamers. Cheaters are better than the top 1% because cheaters are invincible. You know what I'm saying? They're running around shooting infinite chaos reaches like you saw in my other video, or putting down Titan walls and slowing everyone down, making them all one shot, right? So before we dive into this too far, I want to go to the next Reddit post here. And again, on the Destiny Reddit, we have two different posts in regards to Trials, so I had to bring this up today. We got an r/Destiny the game. Trials sweatlords complain about lack of populace. Thought about looking at yourselves as the problem? I hate Trials. I'm not a good PvP player. I'm honest. When I'm forced into this cesspool of toxicity because Bungo want to put it in as a seasonal challenge so the PvP lords can flex their muscles more, I'll grit my teeth for an hour and soldier through it. It is the worst hour of my week, not because of losing, just the general attitude and toxic nature of the sweat gods. If I get slaughtered by a good team and they are humble about it because they are better, kudos, well played, but that never happens. Every death is followed by a bag, shooting ghosts, etc., and the insulting messages that come after, get good, you suck, etc. This is the reason you sweatlords play against each other every week. You make the play such an awful experience for casuals and lesser skilled players. Nobody wants to play it. And I couldn't agree more. A lot of people do this a lot of the time, but one thing I will keep in mind, and I do want to speak about this note, is that the cheaters that I match almost always teabag and flaunt and do all of that crazy stuff, right? Shoot your dead body. And they do it, probably a lot of the ones that are doing this to you in Trials are cheaters, or at least closet cheaters. This happens way too much. I'm not saying that teabagging didn't exist before, but cheaters just have nothing to lose. They're on someone else's account doing a recov, or they're just on a cheater account, or they know they're going to get banned eventually, so they don't care. They don't have any concern for the game or for the community at all, so that's why they act the way they do. Of course, there are other top tier players that do this as well. I myself, obviously, I don't do this. I try to say GG, even if teams play the way I don't particularly like. If they're sitting in the back of the map, hiding behind Saitans, firing Jotuns, I'll even still say GG's, you know, because at the end of the day, it's just a game. We're all here to have fun, and that's one thing I think we all need to keep in mind. So to anyone out there who is just a good player, not cheating and you're teabagging, definitely please don't do that. You're making the whole situation way worse. And also, Trials and Destiny PvP is literally the last game mode you should ever flaunt or brag about, right? And if you were to do a tier list of all of the most competitive PvP games currently active right now in 2021, Destiny 2 PvP and Trials of Osiris would be almost guaranteed at the absolute bottom of active games right now. I mean, every game is way more competitive than this. Think about all the esports games that are out there. Think about all the other games that have just way better servers and way more balance to the games. Way less forgiving things like bullet magnetism and aim assist, like off the charts, right? So being bragging about your skills in Destiny 2 teabagging is actually one of the lamest things. Like you're actually kind of a loser, not if you're teabagging and bragging about your skills in Destiny 2 PvP. Right? Now, that being set aside, let's go on to the next topic. I'm going to cover what my solution would be to remedy the issues within Trials of Osiris, starting with carries, moving on to recovs, and then cheaters. These are the three biggest issues, I think, for the casual, the average player playing this, the person posting on Reddit. You're going to LFG, wherever that may be, you're finding a team, or maybe you're just playing with your friends. You know what I'm saying? This is the usual experience for people playing Trials, right? This is what Bungie would be like if you were an actual Bungie dev sitting in the studio and you're like, hey, I want to play Trials tonight, experience this playlist that I've created in this studio. You'd probably go home and play with a couple Bungie devs, right? This would be the quintessential experience. So carries are going to be a big issue when you match them, because carries are going to be two really good players, usually, trying to help someone not so good. And that may balance the team out a little bit, especially comparative to a stacked team, which is just three really good players, which would just beat a casual team every time. But one thing I think we can do to remedy carries, right? The first thing that people tried to say early on back in the day, like in year 1, D1, or maybe year 2 was in D1, they tried to say, why don't we just lock it so that way you can only go flawless once per character? You know what I'm saying? Once on your Hunter, once on your Titan, once on your Warlock, and then you can't go anymore, so you can't do carries. We'll stop people from doing carries, and it'll be gone. And that idea never got any traction. No one ever even thought about that. Like, no way. And now in the game, when you can continuously grind for random rolled weapons at the Lighthouse, that would obviously be a terrible idea overall. But one thing that I think could be really nice with this would be maybe there should be a cap on the number of times you can go flawless. Because I myself have done this a ton, and I know other streamers and other YouTubers do this as well. We do well streaming Trials carries, so we get lots of views. So we just exploit the crap out of it, essentially. We just do 12-hour streams. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 12-hour streams. You know, hundreds, thousands of viewers, whatever it may be, right? And that's probably too far. And that's probably actually hurting the playlist. What if instead of a 1 flawless per character thing, we had 3 per character? 3 flawlesses on your Hunter, 3 flawlesses on your Titan, 3 flawlesses on your Warlock. Or maybe 5. Maybe 5 for each. I don't know what the exact perfect balance is. Let me know in the comment section below. How many flawlesses do you think you should give to the streamers, the YouTubers out there trying to do carries and stuff like that, right? How many should they get? 5 for each character? What should it be? This would be a great remedy, a great situation to put people in, because streamers could still do carries. You could still do, I mean, you would have the potential for however many, 9 or 15 carries that you could do, right? And so it's not closing the door to streaming. It's not closing the door to carries, but it's just restricting it so it's not just the entirety of the playlist is consumed by carries and stuff like that, which I think is a big issue. And one thing that has happened now in Destiny 2 is that carry culture has been so accepted. There's literally even an emblem to show off how many times you've carried people, and that is cool. And I think that carrying people and helping people in Trials is such a cool thing. I mean, if you think about it conceptually, what they're doing is, if you're taking one person who can't go flawless otherwise, someone who's really low KD, not very good at the game, and you're helping them, teaching them, showing them how, and eventually getting them to the Lighthouse, that is a cool experience. That tells a good story of this community if we're helping people with carries. So I do like carries for that reason. I think we should allow carries to a certain degree, but I think we should put a cap on the number of carries. And this goes directly against my own bias, right? I do carries myself. So if I had a cap and I reached my cap, let's say I play Trials all day Friday and all day Saturday, and then on Sunday I reach my cap, okay, well, I can't play Trials anymore on Monday, right? I've already reached my cap for all 3 characters. And then what's going to happen, though, and this is going to lead into the next one, is that if we don't address the issue of recovs, then what people will do with carries is they'll just swap over and start doing a recov, and then they can do all their carries on a recoved account or an alternate account, stuff like that. You see the issue there? So we have to make sure, if we're going to put a cap on the number of carries, that we also deal with the issue of recovs. I don't know how Bungie could do this exactly. I'm not going to act like I'm some sort of genius that can solve the remedy of recovs inside Destiny 2. Maybe there is no solution for this, but it would just be nice to put a stop to recovs, because if carries are hurting the playlist for the casual players, you out there watching this, posting this on Reddit, you out there watching this on YouTube, If you feel like you've had many cards shut down because of carries, you've definitely had many cards shut down because of recovs, and you maybe didn't even know it, because recovs are definitely out there. They're very prevalent. They're making money off of logging into other people's accounts and going flawless for them. And a lot of you are definitely ones that have paid for these recovs watching this. I'm sure of it. So I'd have to put a stop to recovs at some point in time. That would absolutely help the playlist in the long run. I know some people are going to hate me for this because some people absolutely love recovs and stuff like that. But for example, if we were able to stop the recov situation, if you were to imagine you were able to go flawless on your account. I'm speaking to you out there who pays for recovs. Imagine you were actually able to play on your account, whether you think you're a terrible player or not, and make it to 3 wins, 5 wins, 7 wins, maybe even flawless. What if the playlist wasn't so sweaty and so difficult that you could make it, right? How cool would that be? You won't have to pay money for recov anymore, and you could actually progressively get better at the game instead of just throwing money at people and having them acquire loot for you, which is obviously no one feels good about it. No one has a big smile on their face when they've paid for recovs. It's like an icky thing, right? You don't really want to do that. So that's the second issue that would definitely need to be fixed, is recovs. And then the last one, of course, is cheaters. Cheaters are just the worst thing for the game. The incessant toxicity. They're always teabagging. You've seen it in my videos. You've seen it on my live stream so many times. Every time I match a cheater, they are always teabagging. We need a solid anti-cheat. We need something. We need maybe a third-party anti-cheat. We need whatever we can get to remedy that situation, because that would help bleed into the others and make the others so much better. Because I can tell you right now, just as contrary to those Reddit posts before, the streamers and YouTubers out there are not having as much fun as you think they are. A lot of them are facing cheaters all the time, and the skill creep has gone up so high that it's making it really, really hard for anyone to go flawless that isn't a cheater or a super stack team, or, you know, you're just absolutely sweating your balls off inside the playlist. So that's my 2 cents on those top trending Reddit posts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with my ideas on how to remedy this playlist trials for carries, recovs, and cheaters? Do you disagree? Feel free to post your opinions down below. I will be reading those comments. And that's a wrap on this video. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on. If you did enjoy, smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.